Kamala Harris voters, I'm going to make you feel good and understand what's really going on. So pay attention, my fellow liberals and leftists. The reason I'm smiling and laughing, oh, you're going to love this one. It is April 13th, 2025. And let me tell you right now, it is a really interesting two things that are happening. Listen all the way to the end. Subscribe to my channel. Hey, subscribe to my channel. If you're here on social media, subscribe now. Here's the thing. I'm going to talk about one, China, and two, Trump. Trump did something crazy. It's what I call the China Judicial episode. You ready? Let's go. First of all, we as we do every day, if you're new here, again, subscribe. You're going to love me because I ain't talking the same stuff the rest of them people are. I'm different. You'll see why. Here's the thing. I wait to the end. You're going to love this. The thing is, we have a Trump formula that we follow here on my channel, okay? And the formula goes like this. There's his playbook, who's winning, the score, okay? And then there's the context in which everything that comes out of his mouth and his administration does and who's fighting back. That's going to be important towards the end. Listen to me carefully. So the playbook is, again, always him fighting. He loses in lower courts, take it to appeal court, take it to Supreme Court. Problem is he's losing 3 to 46 right now in the last 12 weeks, the last 3 months. Okay, so we talk about 3 to 46. The homeboy losing. He losing big. But it gets better. People who say, well, what if he defies the judges? Oh, listen to the end. You're going to love this. He's going to defy the judges. Well, he hasn't been defying the judges, not over the last 12 weeks. He is everything they said do, he has done. Now, again, listen to the end of this. Now, let's go over to the next thing, the context he's saying it in. The context is he's always talking to either try to distract you or project some sort of strength he doesn't have. Remember what I just said. The fourth thing is who's fighting back. The best Democrats we got have nothing to do with Congress. Congress, all right? I'm talking about the governors and the AGs from 23 states. Letitia James, the AG out in New York, corrected me on this. 23 states are fighting back, almost half the union, and they've been winning. They're part of that 46 wins that are out there. They're no joke. It is happening, all right? So we're in this position, and the two things I want to talk about now come down to China and the judicial branch. And the judicial branch and Trump. It makes it really interesting. Listen towards the end. China want that smoke. See, China's been preparing for the last 9 years since the first Trump administration, and now they're the number one trading nation, especially over in Latin America and Africa. They're all over the place. So when they said they're going to put out tariffs, they laughing their butt off. The first thing they did is have companies move out to places like India, out in Thailand, out in Cambodia, and even in Mexico, and they made deals. Plus, they made deals where they can ship from those companies that don't have the heavy tariffs or no tariffs at all. On top of that, you know that whole fallout with Panama? They made a deal with Scheinbaum over in Mexico to get their stuff to Mexico and either ship up to America or cross the Mexican country and go into the Gulf of Mexico and do what they want. Yeah, it's that serious. They ain't playing. They have stepped around. But it gets better. You ready for this? They went to all of the people who manufactured everything from Nike to Hermes bags and said, you know what? You can bootleg this stuff. It's illegal now. Do what you need to do. Then they spread out all over the web to every major merchandiser, franchise, or whatever, and said, hey, these are the manufacturing companies where you can find them. They put it out there so people know how to get their Nikes, their Hermes, everything. But if you really hustling, and I'm an entrepreneur for 20 years teaching people how to make money online, if you're really, subscribe right now. Subscribe right now. Seriously, this is worth it. If you're really hustling, you can go to China with a bag or some credit and be able to get a ton of ish. Let me explain how that works. They did something which is number 3. They made a U.S. visa. Listen to them. This is how gangster China is. They made a U.S. visa. It's called a 280-hour visa, 11 and a half days. You can spend whatever you want in China. And whatever you spend, you get 13% back. Cash back. That's how China playing it. They got all sorts of deals. People is hustling over there. They hustling, and the people who are going over there from America, they're like, yep, let's go. Not just people who are rich consumers. I'm talking about business people going over to get. Let me give you some economics behind this. If you got something that may cost you $30 in China, you sell for $300 in America, the tariff is going to be 150%, right? So that means it would cost you 75 because it would be 100%. That's 60 plus the 45, but you might as well make it 50. That's $75. But here's the interesting part about that. If you're getting that at $75, but it's 30%, one, they're going to give you 13% cash back on that. Two, you can go and get whatever you want and have it shipped out of other countries because they've already been pre-shipping stuff to other countries anyway in anticipation. And then on three, which is beautiful, is they can get stuff pretty much manufactured, shipped anywhere and held in warehouses to be sent out. So you ain't going to affect China. China laughing at you because China been ready for that smoke. Now let's go over to Trump and the Judicial. Do you know this fool went out and said on his Truth Social that basically, I'll just make it simple. You know that guy Garcia who the Supreme Court said, bring that guy back. Bring that beat back. Bring that guy back. He said, Trump said on his Truth Social, whoever El Salvador has. He's hinting around to where everybody's screaming constitutional crisis because he might ignore what the Supreme Court said. He ain't going to ignore what the Supreme Court said. Listen to what I just said earlier. Look at everything I've stacked this up to. This is the moment you waited for and why you should be subscribing with me. I know I've earned your subscription. Here's the thing. If he ignores the courts, then how is he going to get all the stuff he's trying to get hundreds of court cases through? On top of that, do the courts want that smoke? Well, apparently they do. For the last 12 weeks, they've been all over his assets about everything. And I do mean assets. There were 3 judges that said, you better unfreeze those trillions of dollars. There were judges that say, you better hire those people back from Inspector Generals, FBI, CIA. And on top of that, they've been talking about, well, listen, you could fall in contempt of court. You start deporting people like you doing. Only thing that got them out of that was another Supreme Court judgment, but that one's going to fall bad on them too, because the Supreme Court judgment was, yeah, you can do Alien Enemies Act, but you better give due process habeas corpus. And Trump don't do that. If he breaks these rules, then what? They're going to come for him? No, it's going to be worse. His people's going under. U.S. attorneys are going to go under. Who are going to get to work for them if they're in jail or they're fired and let go and they're held in contempt? Nobody. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. Did I earn your subscription? See, on my channel, we don't worry about this crazy shit that he does. We don't lose our minds over this. We don't let the latest person from the right or the left, all these left influencers running out saying, ooh, Trump did this, surprise it. We don't care. We don't care because we know the playbook. What's the playbook? The playbook is he's putting it through the lower courts, the appeals court, and the Supreme Court. We know the score. The score is 3-46 in federal judgments in the last 12 weeks. We also know the context. He's trying to either dissuade you, somehow manipulate you, or project power he doesn't have. And finally, we know who's fighting back. The attorney generals, we know that they're, and governors from 23 states. We also know that the ACLU is fighting back, along with other nonprofit organizations, and the judges themselves are fighting back. See, that's what's on our side. That's why we're winning. That's why we're winning. So if Trump goes ahead and basically ignores what the Supreme Court says, he puts himself in danger. He puts his people under him in danger. And the judges have made it very clear. They're ready for that smoke. Did I just earn your subscription? I'm sure I did. Come on board. We ain't going to trip. We're going to keep it real here.